As we neared the end of May, it was finally my long-awaited trip to Seoul. My first visit after almost 6 years. One of the first places I explored this time was Bukchon, a place I always enjoy visiting whenever in Seoul. Hidden in one of Bukchon's streets lies Gyedong-gil, home to Mulnamu, a photo studio that specializes in black and white analog photos. Having my picture taken with my mum here was such a heartwarming experience that made me feel as if I had been taken back in time. A short walk away, we stumbled upon Kunkiwaji, a restaurant specialized in 간장게장, also known as marinated crab. Everything tasted amazing, and I finished it all in a blink of an eye. I had to stop by my go-to place for tteokbokki and sundae. It was just as good as I had remembered it to be. 편안한 집 is also a good choice for those looking for a Korean full-course meal in Samcheongdong. Since it was summer, we had to have bingsu. With White Birch Story Cafe advertising its famous pat bingsu in their shopfront, we knew we had to stop by. Turns out, the store was also a filming location for the K-drama Goblin. Next, we stopped by a cozy tea shop serving a selection of Korean and Japanese tea and desserts. Its tranquil garden and interior makes it such a nice place to relax from the bustling streets. As we were around the area, we also took the chance to dress up in traditional Hanbok for free entry into the majestic Gyeongbokgung. Another area I always like to visit in Seoul is Garosugil. First stop was High Street Italia, a space that sells imported Italian products. The highlight for me, though, was the gelato store there. Vividotta is a gelato brand that uses 100% organic milk from Jeju Island to ensure that rich and silky smooth texture. Next stop was All Day Soundbar, a place where you can sit back, relax, drink, while enjoying music from their vinyl collection. By night, it becomes a dimly lit bar with a mellow atmosphere. Depending on the vibe you want, you can cross over to 200, which seems to belong to the same owner, as it has the exact same menu. Nearby stands Midtown Seoul, a restaurant and bar serving coffee, brunch, dinner, and drinks, with a really good DJ lineup. Alternatively, a place I also enjoyed spending the evening at was Nodeulseom, an artificial island on River Han. This place may seem familiar for some, as it is the idyllic filming location for the business incubator Sandbox in the K-drama Startup. In reality, it is a cultural space with cafes, a bookstore, galleries, and music stages, while also being a stunning place to watch the sunset over Seoul. A new area I visited was Seongsudong, a trendy neighborhood that's well known amongst locals. Located near Seoul Forest, Seongsu is lined with cute cafes, wine bars, and restaurants. Upside Cafe is among one of them. I then stopped by LCDC Seoul, an artsy hangout spot with an aesthetic cafe. Final stop in Seongsu was PSG Coffee, a cafe famous for their tamagoyaki and katsu sandwiches, and I must say, it definitely lived up to its hype. During this trip, I also went to watch my first Korean musical, Matahari, starring BTOB's Changsop and Mamamoo Solar. It was such a dream come true to see the members of my two favorite groups performing together. After the show, we stopped by Shinsajeon, a good place to visit for craft makgeolli and Korean pancakes. Bar Tea Scent is a tranquil bar serving tea and tea-based cocktails. A must visit if you're a tea lover like me. We headed over to Sokcho for a day trip. After a 3-hour drive from Seoul, our first stop was Naksansa, a Buddhist temple located near Sokcho with an unreal view of the sea and mountains as its backdrop. What I love most about the temples here are the tea houses. The one at Naksansa has postcard-like views of the coast. Our lunch location was at Daepo Port, where we stopped by the seafood market for sashimi and steamed crab. The best part for me, though, was definitely the crab leg ramyeon. It was one of the best things I had on my trip. On the way back, you can stop by Sonil Mukjang, a farm-to-table barbecue restaurant that serves some of the best Korean barbecue. The lines do get really long though, but what I love about this place is that it has a garden complex at the back that's perfect to sit back and relax at while waiting for your table. The next day, I headed over to the Hyundai Seoul, Seoul's newest and largest mall filled with eco-friendly interior design and home to many of Korea's trending brands and cafes. It can get crowded on weekends, so I recommend going quite early in the morning. Crossing over the bridge from the mall, you will come across Mangwon, a neighborhood that's lined with cafes, flower, and craft stores. I stopped by Cups Coffee for a latte before visiting EERT for tea right next door. Yeonhuidong is a neighborhood very close to Mangwon that's good for cafe hopping. Here I visited Manufact Coffee Roasters. I love the coffee here so much that I had to buy the coffee beans home. The smell of Picani Picano's freshly baked savory scones also drew me into their store, so I had to give it a try. And now next to Yeonhuidong we have Yeonnamdong. It's lined with a bunch of cafes and restaurants as well. By this time I was already extremely full, so I only visited one place. But Yeonnamdong will definitely be on my list of areas to explore next time round. On a different day, I spent my afternoon exploring Hannamdong, a residential area near the well-known Itaewon. Yeonhuidong Cafe is known for their extensive selection of Korean tea and decadent cakes to have while enjoying its calm interior. Another memorable place for me was definitely Hyundai Card Music Library, home to one of the largest specialized music collections in the world, with an underground performance venue and a vinyl store called Vinyl and Plastic. At the store, you're able to borrow the vinyl record and use its turntables for listening. For my last night in Seoul, I had to go to Itaewon for its night scene. I had dinner at 237 Page, serving very good pasta with Korean barbecue. Before heading over to Namsan Seoul Club, a place where I was able to learn about the different types of Korean liquor. Another place I really liked was Talmek Shupo. Picking a small mini-mart, it's a good place to have convenience store snacks with Korean craft beer. Drawn by the jazz music that was lighting up the street, we headed over to Boogie Woogie Jazz Bar as a cherry on top for the most wonderful time I spent in Seoul.